Hello, welcome to a video where I'm going to showcase some Master League battles. I'm actually hosting a Master League tournament myself. There's a $300 prize tournament. I hope I can feature more of these to include some community and some to promote some competitive play. In this meta, a lot of options were available to make teams. There's a lot of top players. There's a lot of picks. Let's take a look at what the meta is exactly. You have 4 ways to build a team in this meta. The mythicals are banned. I do not like those because basically only defit or premium pass raiders or those with an absolute busted local community can make these for Master League at level 50. So I banned these to make the fields more even for everyone. Let's take a look at these paths here. The origin path is the path I took actually. You can take one primal Pokemon, but you can't pair it with legendaries. These Pokemon on themselves are already really, really good. So I think that'd be fair. And honestly, even a Dragonite or Metagross is already so good with them. The second path basically has the same concept, but instead of a really good Primal, you can pick a really good Mega, such as Mega Gardevoir, Mega Salamence, Mega Swampert. I think those are really good in this meta, and then you can pair some legendaries, but not the highest CP legendaries. So like Lugia and Giratina Altered are the most likely. In the legendary path, we see that in slot 1 you can pick Mewtwo, Dialga, or Zacian. I don't think they should be paired together. That makes a Master League meta a little bit unhealthy because those Pokemon together are really, really strong. And since you can TM, Mewtwo is a Pokemon that adds so much flexibility that I don't think it should be paired with other overpowered Pokemon. It can be paired with other pretty good Pokemon such as Ho-Oh or Giratina Origin. And that's the legendary path basically. In the all-round path, you can pick one Mega Pokemon and pair it with 3 legendaries from here. Or not legendaries, was fine with me too. And then for the remaining 2 slots, you can pick anything below 4000 CP, which could be an Ultra Beast like a Buzzwole, a legendary like a Virizion, or just a Gyarados. Now, what picks did people actually bring? My good friend GreenBeeV actually made a data sheet with all the most common picks. So as you can see here, we see that Excadrill all the way up top on 70 out of 128 teams. A few got removed, but about 125 teams still have so many Excadrill. The Florges, one of the more common picks, Gyarados, but those are also basically the lower CP Pokemon, right? So those were some of the restrictions, so obviously those are the most common. But if we look at the legendaries, there's 38 Lugia, 35 Giratina Altered, also because they're probably just lower CP legendaries. But on at 27 pieces, we see Primal Kyogre. A lot of people went for Primal Kyogre, which makes sense. It's such a strong Pokemon. It's only one Pokemon. So one Primal Kyogre means no legendaries. Yeah, that basically sums up a little bit of what people brought. Now let's take a look at my battles. I actually took the origin path with the Primal Groudon paired with like 4 Kyogre answers. However, I think my Kyogre answers still lose to Primal Kyogre. So there's that. We'll see it when I face one, maybe. It's a really good Pokemon. But so is Primal Groudon. Primal Groudon can slam through teams, especially if there's no water. Unfortunately, my opponent does have a water type, which is the Primarina. Waterfall Primarina does okayish against Groudon, especially since I'm running Dragon Tail, which I think picks up more matchups here. But I do not have a solid Mewtwo answer, so that's a little bit my problem. Let's take a look at this first battle here against NoctElipsium. I lead the Magnezone into Mewtwo. This is iffy, especially if they run something like Flamethrower, because I would do so much damage. I run a full electric moveset, but they swap in Garchomp just straight away, which is kind of bold. I bring in my Charm Primarina. Could have brought in my Groudon as well, but I reckon Groudon will just be more useful in the back. This is actually an Earthquake Garchomp, but because they're a little bit underleveled, this won't take me out with the Mud Shots. In fact, they even tie with me. Garchomp gets to about 100 Garchomp level 50, gets to 4479 CP, if I say it correctly. So they're just a little bit underleveled. And they go straight Side Strike here, which is interesting. I can take that definitely, but it will chunk. That's about 40%. I also run Zap Cannon because I don't really see much use for Mirror Shot or Flash Cannon here, only against Garchomp, but it's a hard losable matchup anyway. I didn't expect them to bring Garchomp because my Garchomp was so good as well. I do get the attack drop, but unfortunately about 80 energy there gets shielded, so that's really unfortunate. And now I guess I gotta go straight Wild Charge, which I don't know if it even will take out, because I once built a Magnezone for Master Premier at level 40. Then when level 50 came out, I maxed it out because I thought it was pretty cool. And then I never used it again. So I don't know if that will KO. It's a strong move. It's the same type of attack bonus. So there's that. Since my opponent is shooting, I'm kind of expecting the Lugia in the back. Hoping for the Lugia. Not a Waterfall Primarina, because that will be tough. It will outpace me to my Precipice Blades. But unfortunately, it is Lugia. This actually gets really close in the 0 shields. However, my opponent decides to go straight Sky Attack here, and that makes this much more comfortable for me. Maybe there's a single move or something. It is a Hundo maxed out Lugia, though. And Primal Groudon does just fine here because of that huge stat distribution, even higher than Lugia's. Fire Punch now has same type attack bonus, so they do respectable damage. And that should allow Groudon to win this. But look at how close it still is. 2500 CP higher, Lugia still gets really close to beating the Primal Groudon. So yeah, huge Pokemon still wins here. Even though it wasn't exactly the madness that I wanted it to be against this Lugia. So yeah, obviously Mewtwo and Lugia, I just don't have hard answers, so definitely gonna see those from my opponent. I don't know if they will bring Primarina as well. Garchomp is a little bit surprising. I didn't really expect that right off the bat there. Let's see. Magnezone into, again, Mewtwo. This is not the same battle because this time I have Dragonite, and in hindsight, I have no idea why, because Dragonite doesn't even, like, their Lugia is very likely to come out, so I don't think Dragonite is really a good pick for myself. This is also a very underleveled Giratina. I guess my opponent didn't have many candy for this, kind of unfortunate. Regardless, Dragonite does very well here because I deal super effective damage the whole time. Regular coming through. They're the Anomalous Wind. They need one more for a Shadow Ball, which they go for. Maybe they're single moved as well on this. And we have the CMP there, and they actually do shield that, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm just gonna clean up with my Primal Groudon. That's what it does best. Even a Waterfall Primarina. Look at that. One Dragon Tail chunks away that Pokemon. And it is Charm. So Charm Primarina doesn't even do well here because the Charms are resistant on the fire typing. Just gonna build up a lot of energy. We see my Dragon Tail's double resistance do more than these single resisted Charms. First Precipice Blades comes in. This is neutral, but it takes out a full Primarina regardless. And at this point, it's very much over because the Precipice Blades will also take out this Mewtwo. To show some of this bulk of this Primal Groudon, I'm gonna let this Side Strike go. It does about 40%. Respectable damage. It's not enough. Yeah, that wins me this game as well. Boom. So yeah, a little bit tough. I want to showcase my battles per se. Unfortunately, it's a little bit unfortunate that my opponent has an underleveled Giratina there. But I appreciate anyone participating, really, regardless. And then we have the same. This is not the same line again. This time I brought Dragonite again. And they say switch to Garchomp again. This time I'm going to shield up this Primal Groudon. Earthquake won't KO, but it will do a ton of damage that I don't want to take. So I kind of like the safe swap from them. Garchomp just seems somewhat good against my team, especially with Mudshot. It has a lot of play. I wouldn't say it's dominant, but it has play. But yeah, I should just shield once, farm it down, and then I have a lot of energy. They actually shield the first move. I thought they would call a bait, maybe. This still won't take me out. They need something like a water move, but hey, they don't have that, so I can just take this. It doesn't even put me into the red. Gonna go for the Fire Punch, which will do respectable damage to Mewtwo still. And then we should hit the CMP on the next Fire Punch here. Since my Dragon Tail's already put this solo, this Fire Punch might actually take it out. Primal Groudon is just so busted. Yeah, it does take it out. In the back is Razor Leaf Abomasnow. If that was Power Snow, I actually would have gone to another Fire Punch and Primal Groudon would have cleaned up the whole team there. Interesting pick, definitely. The Abomasnow has Razor Leaf, so it's really bad against my dragons. But it's fine for me, to be honest. The Dragon Claw comes through, doesn't KO yet, but the Dragon Breath will take it out. And that's basically the first round. I'm going to try to showcase about 3 for every round, which will be a lot of videos, but since I'm going to the States soon anyway, I want to try to put up as many videos in my absence as well. So basically that's why I also got this Moss League tournament, to not only showcase battles but also to keep battles going. Hope you liked the video, and see you in the next one.